right, everybody. Hello. Woo! It's Saturday morning, and I had to jump on here today because the search terms are rising. There are people who are frustrated. Are rising. Here we go. There are people who are frustrated. I know we're live now, baby. Yes. All right. Hello, we're fairly dialed in here. This is the MAGA Exit Countdown. I am the teacher, the host, Kirsten Peck. Hello, everybody. Saturday morning, and I have to do a deep dive. So I know this isn't on the schedule, but let's start here, okay? Here we go. This is what I'm doing, but here's what I'm really talking about, okay? I have training materials for anyone who is frustrated about President Trump and about how MAGA is unfolding in the current political situation. Today is August 1st, 2026. We are about 95 days down to election voting, midterms. And this is the place for the academic refresher from your favorite high school teacher with a quick shout out with a couple of skills that I need to practice, because just like a professional athlete, it takes a little bit of endurance and it takes a little bit of coaching sometimes to straighten things out. Okay, so I have here, first up, right here, on the training website, there's a course called the Focus to Pivot. Go check it out because it explains the whole philosophy about what I'm doing, why I'm using scorecards, why I'm using art, and how I'm going to help you figure this out. We are on a countdown. It'll show you my training calendar. Let's go to the training calendar. I started this at week 18 with a follow the money. There's a lot of history videos that are out there I've produced that have all of the tricks. Throughout history, politics has had tricks, and this is the information for you to learn about the tricks because they're happening real time right here in MAGA by President Trump, okay? So the tricks, one of those tricks is the loyalty play. And the one I was talking about was the Medici family and how back during the Renaissance time, 1490s, that time of exploration, the Medicis controlled things by power, corruption, and loyalty oaths. If you weren't loyal to the Medici, you pretty much were going to be dead because they didn't support it. It wasn't happening, okay? But what happened there was a great story because the artists started making art for other people besides the Medici. And eventually the other families got a break in it. That's part of the story. Let's get to the history of this. Another one here, the big lie. I'm breaking down the propaganda. I'm breaking down the literacy from my reading class. So the big lie, yeah, it's something really little that at the time it's said, you don't really think about it. You don't really question it. You just kind of laughed it off. So a few years ago, he started making really big, ugly lies, and people just kind of laughed it off. They didn't think he was real. And a couple years ago, when he said the Haitians were eating the dogs and the pets, that just flipped me out and was part of me writing the book. So here's the book. I'll show you the book. This is me doing show and tell up here. Here's the book. It's $10 on Amazon. I'm not trying to get rich off of it. I'm trying to reteach skills. The book has a lot of these activities in it that I'm working us through. So that's what we're doing, okay? So the big lie, that was one. Speaking of an organizer, let me turn this back here to my organizers. Hold on. I know it gets boring just looking at me all the time. All right, Here's one of my favorite organizers. We did this a couple episodes ago, and a quick refresher here. This is, again, me feeling the need to deep dive, because this, get a piece of paper and draw these simple a simple 4 grid, 1, 2, 3, 4, just on a piece of paper, right? And the beautiful part about this is that it helps you organize all of those things that are swirling around, all of those stories that you've heard, all of those little bitty lies, all of that kind of stuff. Because the question, is President Trump betraying the United States, betraying the American dream for everybody? It's not just the Democrats that he's destroying it for. He's destroying it for the MAGA people that voted for him. Because if you've noticed, he's been breaking all of his campaign lies. So then my question to you, MAGA voter, is this a betrayal? That's the title of the book. Is it? I don't know. I think it is, but I'm wondering if you think it is. I'm trying to help you see it. It's a big deception. So what you do is you then say, okay, here's everything that you think you know about it being a betrayal. And here's then some questions that you would want to ask the author or ask somebody like me about this. Okay. And then when we go through the activity, then you come back here and you go, okay, or as we're doing it, you say, all right, these are things I agree with, but no, these are things I don't agree with. She's not made my point on this one, because that's what then I have to keep talking about as it structures honest debate, practical Socrates, ancient legends of wizard, of philosophy and practices, and that can help you figure it out. The same way a scorecard can help you figure it out. Let me make sure you can see my scorecard. We lined up the idea of talking about it being a gang or it being a cult. Or is it time for you to leave? Or are you okay with the MAGA leadership? If you're okay with it, great. I'm not pressuring you. This is not threatening. I'm trying to help you organize your thinking, because people are confused. And I know you're confused. The algorithm wants you to be confused. They don't want us to figure this out, which is another reason why everybody gets swirling around. So the topics go here. We talked about leadership and the differences between them. We talked about the focus. We talked about how they recruit people. We talked about how they try to control people, their visibility. What do they have in common? Because if you are concerned about this, then you need to keep talking to me, and I hope you'll keep listening to me. Looks like I've got people online. This is fantastic. Let me just take a second to check. Nobody's talking to me. If you want to subscribe and talk to me, I would love to have a conversation. This is Saturday morning. This is kind of a surprise because I see the search terms. Every day I'm looking. I'm trying to figure this out. So let's see, do we go more to the scorecard? No, I'm still here to my, what are we talking about? Recapping, I'm recapping. Yeah, so week 15 here, this is when we did the gangs. That was last week. Go check those videos out because it's caught on camera. And we talked about the World Cup and things that you see right before your very eyes. Yes, those things are real. Trust them. Yeah. All right, so this week, week 14, which is when I'm ending up here, we've got perspective. Let me come over here to jump into a art class moment here on perspective. Can I move this closer? This is really important to see. I'm just going to get this closer. Excuse me, people. Sorry, moving you around. You get it to move around? Maybe. Hello, this is my usual tech request for help. There you go, that'll work. All right, there you go. Yeah, that's better. All right, this one. Perspective. You know how when you go like in art and you look at something and you look at it very short and two-dimensional, It's very just upfront and flat compared to when they put in a focal point and it adds dimension to it and you get that depth like a swimming pool, how that changes the perspective. And how you could even imagine that if you then layered on time and an idea of the universe or the idea of your legacy in the future, that can shift your perspective of how you think about things in higher levels of thinking. So yeah, maybe this is just, today in the moment, right now, this hour. Maybe this one is like all day long. If I thought about today, all day long, what do I want to do? And this one's more like, hey, how about this whole week? What do I want to do? Or this whole month, what do I want to do? And that shifts your perspective. Okay? And that the other piece of that is that also your point of view, which is your opinion. So this is how you look at something, but this is then what you make of it and what you think about it. In the same way, if you look at it just on your surface, very short and shallow, your 2D opinion, your very instant reaction, compared to a little bit deeper when you have more of a direction, a pro or a con. Yes, you agree with it, or no, you don't. But even that is very surface with you focused. If you start adding in more sources and more people, the shareholders, they call those, the other people that are involved. If you start adding in the cause and effect, this again is related to time. What happened before, what happened way before that, what happened way, way, way before that, or what's the effect really? That deeper here, drawing these conclusions to here. And then this here, what if we start thinking about stuff, or what if we did this, or what if we did that? That's what I'm asking you to do. That's exactly the task I'm asking you to do. And it's hard in that it's a little bit more thinking. It takes more time, obviously, to think more and to make a chart, maybe to make a chart and say, yeah, I see how that chart could help me figure something out. Because are you comfortable being in a gang? This week's episode, number 15, I threw down that they are a gang. MAGA is a gang. And I don't believe that my Aunt Nancy wants to be in a gang. I really don't, which is why I'm here. Trying to reach out to my Aunt Nancy. And let me clarify it up here a little bit better, because I did decide to go into more of this deep dive. Move the table. Still trying to figure out my check. Had it. I thought I had the angle. Oh, the technology. Oh, Dios mío, people, help me. How do I get this to work? Yeah. Give the camera a minute to focus on that and give it a minute to let you kind of read through it all. You can see here leadership up at the top corner. No, not really. One more moment. Okay, here's the chart from week 14. Look in the video from Tuesday night. On Tuesday night, the chart was empty. And I asked you to take your own notes to fill it in. And I wanted to get back here to a little bit deeper dive of it. And I'm not sure you can see it real well. But starting from the top, because it is important to review these things. It is a marker. This is day 95. And week 14 was about Martin Luther, back 520 years ago when he posted his 95 Theses, which were questions to the church, because the church was corrupt, forcing people to pay money in order to talk to God and feel like they were with God. And Martin Luther posted questions saying, how does this work? I don't understand. Why can't I just talk to God myself? And that created this whole revolution in the church. So to this same effort, in the same way, the power of asking questions and the power of inquiry and thinking about things and organizing them and the facts putting the facts on the table. So I'm putting the facts on the table right here now. And I want to run through this fairly quickly because I need to get the facts on the table. This is what I need to be doing. This is my quest, right? Which is what my whole website's about. I have lots of websites. I have lots of projects because this is important to me. I'm focusing on this one. And it's a new style of political commentary because it's a little bit of academics. It's reading skill number 5 and 6, and it's no shame, no pain. Let's go, okay? Just like a pro athlete reveals the film, we got to look at the film. Film don't lie, okay? I love that saying, film don't lie. Yeah, let's go. We're talking morals and values, and in business, it's called ethics. So ethics in business. Are you willing to make money by illegal or questionable, shady, hurtful ways? Or are you willing to stand up on behalf of the community and behalf of the people to say, we need to have values, we need to have ethics in business? And I'm not so sure that Trump and MAGA and the future with JD or Rubio, however that's gonna go, this is what we're talking about right now. So I'm presenting facts and I'm asking you to score points, either yes, you're with it, or no, you're not. And at the end of it, down here at the bottom, you get to your totals and you see, yes, this is great, or no, I'm not really with this. And if you're not really with it, I've got more training materials about how to help you decide to move out because it's gonna be a challenge. I know it is. Right. Leadership. This is about how they make decisions as a leader. So are you happy with President Trump's decisions about his leadership of his cabinet? His first year was spent with Kristi Noem, with Pam Bondi. Oh, my thing's coming off the wall. And we have Pete Hegseth in the Department of War. We have Marco Rubio as Secretary of State, and of course, JD as the Vice President. And how are all of those working out? Are you feeling good about that? I also want you to extend this out to think about your Senate. A lot of elections this November are about the Senate. There's 18 governors that are up for elections, and a lot of local races are also most important in the midterms, which is why I'm talking about this now. We are crossing into 13 weeks. This is day 95. Leadership. Okay, focus on the goals. Focus on the goals. That's one of the ethics of a criteria here. The goals being the benefit of the United States. I don't know. President Trump, he's been the Justice Department corruption or confirmation hearings. I think that got voted down finally yesterday afternoon. That sort of got withdrawn. And I want you to consider the relationship that we have with Canada and the bridge that was built, Howie Gordon, I think is the name of it. And it crosses into Canada, which now some deal has been reneged on, and the whole project that's been going on for a decade has been shortchanged by, I'll call him a gangster. But that's for you to decide. I'm not making any decisions here. I'm asking you to consider the information. Can I move this up a little closer again so you can see it a little better? Alrighty, nope, too close. All right, we've got, oh yeah, also JD over there. You know, his influence is Peter Thiel and his background story on that as to what's JD's focus and purpose. Visibility on the job. Let's talk about this. Visibility on the job. All right, let me set it back down a second. So, training people. Let's see. Let me get this back. Yes, there we go. Right. Visibility working on the job. How is President Trump visibly working on the job? MAGA, influencers, everyone involved. The Pentagon, well, we're not exactly sure what's happening in the Iran military operation because the Pentagon press briefings have been canceled since back in May. So we have not had a Pentagon press briefing for 2 months. So no visibility on the job out of the Pentagon. In fact, they're not exactly keeping up with what exactly is happening. Next one, the quality visibility on the job. How about that East Wing? And how about that reflecting pool? How is all of that working? Were those contractors qualified to get those contracts and those jobs? And of course, how about the Epstein files? And this big reveal. What was the big reveal going to be? What have they figured out? Is it or is it not? What is happening with Epstein? And the longer this goes on, the longer you are participating in covering up whatever that is. And let's get to the next one, employee cabinet treatment. Here would be cabinet, how he treats his employees. Well, Marco Rubio, the one I want to talk about, Secretary of State, really may or may not be the Secretary of State because Jared Kushner is the one that's out there doing the negotiating. So the question here of him playing his employees against each other, he's also doing that with JD up in here. And so who's betraying who between JD and Rubio? And down here, Jared and Rubio, because the job of Secretary of State is to be negotiating for the country, not negotiating for the good of the president himself. Right? Which then brings me to profiteering. The question of profiteering. Are you willing to make money by any means? Cutthroat? Questionably illegal? Is that okay by you? Because the longer you're in MAGA, the longer it is okay by you. And I understand this is a difficult situation. A lot of people are struggling with these issues. And yes, people are boycotting things. They are boycotting things. They're selling stocks. Because the military making money off of the war in Iran, there are people that are profiting. There are people that are profiting from the prisons that are being set up inside the country on behalf of ICE. Did you know that that's what they were going to be doing? Is that what you supported? Because the people who are making the money are the ones that are setting up the prisons. How about crypto? Yeah, the Saudis, all of that international money that has just become America. Talk about who just bought America. Yes, look in the Middle East and your friend of President Trump. And back to the data centers. As much as I love Google and I'm using YouTube on its very best day, hello, good morning, beautiful people. Those data centers and that AI, it's a bigger problem. It's growing because here we're coming to the next category. The next category is your community and your environment and the damage that is being done to the community and the environment, which affects the future of our children and their children. So forest fires, yes, go figure. The forest department didn't do the work, and so the fires are on. It started summer, August 1st. I am declaring this. I am reading these aloud. In fact, I almost feel like reading my 95 questions because I've written them out. And it's about making the declaration and it's about understanding what is happening. And I have a peaceful conversation I want to have with people with respect, with truth, because we have to figure this out. I believe the president is betraying the United States. I believe that everyone in MAGA is in a gang, and I'm running the gang exit here on my channels. I got a couple of channels. We're going with this because the community damage. Let me get back to my focus. I'll quit talking about the thing. Let's focus. 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 The forest fires, the food and the parasites. What's with the food and parasites? What's with the lettuce? You've been pooping, you've been wondering. And measles, yeah, that disease was gone, but it's not, it's back. So that again gets to the cabinet and the quality of the results that you are seeing today. Are you happy with the quality of the results? That's my ask for you. Laws and due process. This was one that we were watching here because businesses are supposed to process in a legal and ethical manner We had watchdogs set up by the government to take care of keeping track of the good of the people. Those things have been eliminated. Protesting is not a criminal act. It is one of the founding principles of the United States. And whistleblower protections are established as a bipartisan thing from back in the day. Senator Chuck Grassley from Iowa is on the main committee and has always been a proponent of whistleblower protections. And I'm calling on him, Chuck Grassley, Senator in Iowa, who I believe is retiring. Iowa, heads up. Who are you guys picking out of your senators? Finally, after 35 or 40 years, you think you're going to get a choice. I need to look that up. I got to look that up. Let me make my own list here. Because yes, are you keeping your notes? Let's go. Family relationships. If ethics and morals are important to you, how about the ethics and the morals of the Trump family in business? This is the business conversation. I'm trying to focus here. Well, Ivana's trying to buy an island. Barron is involved in the crypto world. I got Jared over there, as I mentioned, acting like he's Secretary of State in the Middle East. I got Melania, who made a movie, but meanwhile is nowhere to be seen. Okay, is that how you run your family? How about faith and religion? Constitution, the founding fathers were solid on the idea that we can have any religion, we can have all religions, or we can have no religions. That's the beauty of the United States. So stop with this all religious stuff, because if you actually check your Bibles and if you actually check your faith, I'm pretty sure you'll see this betrayal that has been played on you. And I'm sorry that that happened. I'm here to help you get out of it. I'm here to help you see how you can get out of it, because you can get out of it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. So let me bring this around here, back around. Okay, here we go. I'm going to move. You add it up. Look at your governor race. Look at your mayor race. Look at your senators. Check your point of view. Yes, I'm here on my watch party. Here's why. Let me bring this in. Can I land this on me? I don't know. We'll see how my skills are coming in. How are my skills coming in on this? They're coming in all right. I think I came in okay on my skills. I landed it. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the book. Here's the book. It's $10 on Amazon. Okay, go get the book. If you need a hat, I have a hat. There's a hat. Go get a hat. Because yes, I believe he has betrayed everyone. I believe he has. Okay? And if you'll come do my workshops and come talk with me and work with me, here, I'll show you. It's really cool. You can make a crown for yourself, because when you put in something that is special to you and you spend the time with your creativity and you make something that represents you, when you have that with you, it is a superpower, okay? And the same way that when you pick up stuff that is just ridiculously silly, but on the other hand, it is exactly the motivation that you need, because you know that you've got this golden touch. So here's a cute little another magic wand. I found the magic wands yesterday at the store. I'm so excited. This is all turning into more art projects, okay? So thanks for listening to me. Please share this. Please comment. I want to talk to people who are trying to figure out how to leave MAGA. It's a how to leave. It's a transformation. I have the easy steps for you to be able to leave by election day. Come on, share this, all right? This is super fun. Thanks for watching today. It's Saturday. It's time to go out. Actually, it's August 1st. I'm having a huge art day. So I'm switching gears. I'm going outside to my yard because I'm about to build a palm tree. I love the palm trees, and I'm going to go build one. So have a great day. August is on us, 95 days, and I'll actually be back here tomorrow morning for my Sunday report. Okay? Same time tomorrow, Sunday, 10 a.m. Tuesday nights at 7, Friday mornings on training again, because I got three shows. I got 95 days. It's a marathon. The effort is on. I'm here to help you. All right, gotta go. Woo, excuse me. On that one, I really gotta go. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.